Lesson 4-4, Equations and Inequalities. By the end of today's lesson, you will be able to translate word sentences into equations and inequalities, determine whether an equation or an inequality is true or false, and determine whether a given value is a solution of an equation or inequality. Remember to pause the video as you go along to take notes along the way, as well as rewatch any parts of the video that you need to before you do today's lesson. Each of these is called an equation because they show that two mathematical expressions are equal. We have 5 times 8 equals 40, 5 times n equals 40. So we know that this side, 5 times 8, that does equal 40. And 5 times something, an unknown, equals 40. There are two types of equations, the closed sentence and an open sentence. So first we're going to take a look at the closed sentence. So a closed sentence contains no variables. It is either true or false. In order to find out if it's true or false, you first simplify each side of the equation using the order of operations, and second, compare the sides to determine if they make a true statement. So let's take a look at an example. We have 2 times 9 minus 3 equals 15. So we use our order of operations, and first we multiply 2 times 9, which equals 18, minus 3 equals 15. Then we do 18 minus 3 equals 15, and we know that 15 equals 15, so this is a true statement. This would be an example of a closed sentence because when we go back through, we see that it contains no variables, and we're able to say that it's true. So this is a closed sentence. Next, we have an open sentence. The open sentence contains a variable. It is neither true nor false. And then to determine whether a value is a solution of an equation, you first replace the variable with the given value. And then second, you would simplify using the order of operations and determine the value of the variable that makes a true statement. So let's take a look at an example. So here's an example of an open sentence. We can first check and see that it has a variable. That's our biggest clue that it's an open sentence. It's not either true or false because we can't figure out. They've given us two different values. So here's an open sentence, and now we need to determine whether the value is a solution to the equation. So we're going to plug that in. First, we're going to try n equals 3. So we have 5 times 3 minus 2 equals 8. So 5 times 3 is 15 minus 2 equals 8. And when we subtract 15 minus 2, we get 13 equals 8. We know that's not equal, so this is a false statement. Now let's try it with n equals 2. So we have 5 times 2 minus 2 equals 8. 5 times 2 is 10, minus 2 equals 8. Then we have 10 minus 2, 8, equals 8. And that's true. There we go. So 2 is the solution of the equation and makes it a true statement. Now I want you to pause this video and please do numbers 1 through 8, and then you'll watch the next part of the lesson. Here we're going to learn about inequalities. A word sentence can also represent an inequality. An inequality is a statement that uses any of these symbols on this table. Here we have 8 plus 2 times 2 is greater than 10. This is a closed sentence since there are no variables in it, so now we'll determine if it's true or false. So we have 8 plus 2 times 2 equals 4 is greater than 10. 8 plus 4 is 12. It's greater than 10. This is true. We know that 12 is greater than 10. Here's an example of an open sentence. We have n minus 5 is less than 25. This has a variable, so that tells us it's an open sentence. Now they give us when n equals 20. So now we're going to plug that in. So 20 minus 5 is less than 25. 20 minus 5 is 15, which is less than 25. So this is true. And we know that 20 is one solution for this inequality. When an inequality that includes a variable like this one, or it's open, it can have more than one solution. For this one, the solution would be any number that's less than 30. Since 30 minus 5 would give us 25, that would be equal. So it has to be a number smaller than 30 in order for the number to be less than 25. So remember to rewatch any part of this lesson that you need to before completing today's math lesson.